organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Thanks for tuning in to your Thursday edition of Daily Iowan TV, your television news, sports, and weather source for the Daily Iowan. I'm Adam Sullivan here in the Daily Iowan newsroom to give you an update on what's been going on around Iowa City. Some local officials say ambulance calls downtown have decreased since the 21 ordinance took effect more than a year ago, but other local leaders say there are the same number of calls, just to different areas. Johnson County Emergency Medical Services officials say the number of ambulance visits to downtown bars have dipped, but trips to surrounding neighborhoods have increased. Those numbers come as Iowa City councilors are considering changes to the 21 ordinance. Iowa City leaders want to expand the use of the Paula ratio, even though the measure has already been struck down by state officials. A handful of Iowa City restaurants currently have exemptions to the city's 21 ordinance, but local leaders said this week they want to restrict that. If establishments get too many underage drinking violations, city leaders say they could lose their exemption to the 21 ordinance. Currently, Sam's Pizza is the only Iowa City business with a restaurant exemption, which would be in violation of the proposed Paula ratio. For more on this story, check out tomorrow's pages of the Daily Iowan. And a UI research team is building a city. The University of Iowa's National Advanced Driving Simulator will be designing a driver simulation software with a virtual city that mimics various driving conditions. Researchers said the goal of the program is to instruct teens about the dangers of distracted driving. And Bob Stewart has been a well-respected jazz enthusiast here in Iowa City for years. Dana Davidson has more on KCCK's program director in this week's Spotlight Iowa City.
All that jazz from Kirkwood Community College, 88.3 KCCK, Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, FM and HD radio. Just a couple minutes after 3 o'clock, Bob Stewart in, doing your jazz on a Wednesday afternoon. Here's something from John Coltrane on Jazz 88.3 KCCK.
KCCK's Bob Stewart knows jazz.
But I wanted to do jazz. That's what I wanted to do from the beginning. And then this came up, and it's like, okay, I couldn't say no. So I went to college. It was like I was buying all kinds of albums, and there was record stores in Iowa City that had just tons of jazz, and I was just, so yeah, it started in middle school, just kind of built after that.
And after winning Program Director of the Year for the 4th time in his career at the National Jazz Week Summit last month, this Cedar Rapids native is known for his impeccable taste in jazz music. Each week, Bob carefully sorts through a mountain of CDs from both local and national artists to pick the very best jazz music for his programs.
I'm listening for, good melodies and a groove and, straight ahead jazz or something that's, if it's contemporary, it's not too hard rock or too, lightweight, fluffy stuff. And so it's my job to pick out, the 5 discs that, we start playing every week.
But what makes Bob's program so special?
We've made a format that kind of includes, a little bit of each, mainstream and more contemporary stuff, and we're fairly unique, I think, in doing that across the country.
So what's next for this award-winning jazz aficionado?
Your work doesn't end once that, you get the awards. You just got to go on and keep doing what you're doing and do it well and move forward, always moving forward.
Dana Davidson, Daily Iowan TV.
You can check out more about Stewart at dailyiowan.com. And in Hawkeye sports, 34 University of Iowa athletes were honored by the Big Ten Conference as recipients of a Distinguished Scholar Award. The award is granted to those who earned a 3.7 GPA or above for the previous academic year. Additionally, all the honorees were letter winners in their sport and at least in their second academic year. Of those 34 athletes who were honored, 10 were able to maintain a GPA above 4.0. And one of the most hyped incoming basketball players is leaving before he even put on a Hawkeye basketball jersey. Incoming transfer Anthony Hubbard announced today he will be leaving Iowa and play basketball elsewhere. Hubbard signed on to play for the Hawks last spring and has been a star in this summer's primetime league. In a statement to the media, Hubbard said he hopes to find a school closer to his hometown in Virginia. You can read more about this developing story in tomorrow's newspaper. And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek at Friday's pages of the Daily Iowan. Read about local Sudanese students reflecting on international headlines coming from their home country, and read new developments in an Iowa City murder from over a year ago. And here's a look at your weather for this weekend. For Friday's forecast, expect a sunny day with a high of 87 degrees and a low of 70. Then for Saturday, we have a 30% chance of thunderstorms with highs in the upper 80s. Sunday, we should expect a beautiful sunny day with temperatures in the low 90s. And now your extended forecast. All next week appears to be free of rain with sunny skies and temperatures in the low 90s. And that's all we have for your Thursday edition of Daily Iowan TV. You can check us out the same time, Sunday through Thursday, or anytime at dailyiowan.com. For Daily Iowan TV, I'm Adam Sullivan.